Who's gonna win?
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Star Ladder I-League Invitational, Season number 3, North American Qualifiers. That is right. We are getting things kicked off here. 8 of the best teams in the NA region duking it out for the one spot on the line for one of the first minors of this great new competitive season coming up right here. I am Breaky CPK, going to be joined by Z-Rock here. We got the Dire versus Immortals. I am hype. Are you hype, sir?
You know, I'm getting there. I wasn't that hype, and then you pre-called me for this, and you were just so hyped it's picking me up. But two teams that I really like. I'm very glad this is going to be the first game we get a cast together in a while. I am so stoked to see how this new lineup does under the Immortals name.
That's the great thing about a new season, right? As holy crap, we are flying through this draft. But real quickly, not only do we have the Dire here, of course, this new makeup team of PPD. I know you especially, you really have high hopes for this team, and you were even saying that before they had their great run here at the King's Cup. And, of course, they finished first place in the King's Cup in the group stages. They're moving on in a good spot in the playoffs there. Still more work to be done. But they are looking good, even as of yesterday going into this. Immortals, on the other hand, we haven't really gotten to see them yet other than open qualifier play. I believe was for PGL or some, another event, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, the point is, we get to see them here in a big matchup, as you said, essentially making their debut. And people that know the old Phoenix squad, the MVP Phoenix squad of a little over a year ago, they're probably liking this team right now.
That's me. I love this team. I'm just so happy to see these guys back together. I love the way the NA scene is right now. Just sitting in the lobby, we got to listen to them banter back and forth a little bit. I mean, PPD's just giving Dubu endless amounts of crap. It's great.
Yeah.
But no, I'm super excited to see what happens here. And as you said, we're flying through this draft. We've got a very quick set of opening picks in the Veno Lich on this Dire squad. And Immortal's going to be pulling out a Naga Siren Mirana. First pick Naga coming back.
First pick Naga Siren. Now, I will say, whenever we've seen a Naga Siren pop up here and there, it feels like we see it more in the support role. But it is picked up early on, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons, right? Because she can be played as a support as well as that carry, so it's nice to have that diverse pick in that opening spot, and then the Mirana on top of that. Now, again, I'm more so relying on you, as I'm sure many viewers tuning in know as well, but what should we expect with this Immortal squad if it's anything like the former Phoenix squad?
Fast. Super fast. They run at you. They, like, I don't even know how to explain it other than they kind of just run at people, and then people die. They've never been known for super great late game team play, at least with their old version of their squad. But maybe they'll come back together. They've all played a little separately with some different captains. So I really couldn't tell you what to expect right now, but their old style was you pick a stunning offlaner. You get a lot of heroes that can just dive towers early game and just group as 5.
All right, well, again, Naga Mirana to start things off. 4 bans on either side. We got the third pick now coming out for the Dire squad over here. By the way, those initial bans, you see that Jakiro throwing in there. He's been making he had some attention in the King's Cup especially. I know Complexity liked to run him. Obviously, the Dire ran him as well. A support hero that doesn't really translate to other regions, it feels like, but NA especially, he's a loved hero.
Dire's pick.
Yeah, it's one of those that when he's overtuned, he's just a pain in the ass, like just a problem hero to deal with in general. But right now he's kind of on the fringe where, yeah, as you said, NA still gives him a nod, but in other regions, not so much.
Yeah. Earthshaker, that's a pretty popular hero amongst all the ranks when it comes to competitive play, so do we expect to see this, I mean, 4 position or the offlane are obviously the two that come to mind. It's either going to be in the hands of Zai or Misery here, perhaps, but...
Yeah, I would guess offlane with the way that I would expect this team to want to play, especially with something as aggressive as the Lich Veno. You want to get levels early, and you want to... You can even give the Earthshaker a little bit of help with Lich and almost pseudo-dual lane it. So that's a pick we don't see very often, though. We get an Oracle.
Oracle's very... Well, first off, Oracle stands out to me with Fate's Edict right here. Fate's Edict is going to be a very powerful tool this game, the idea of the magic community, of course. You look at the 3 heroes so far on the Dire side, they're saying, you got a lot of magic over there, we'll go ahead and pick a hero that makes essentially immune to it on any target of his choosing right there. I've always stood by the idea that Oracle potentially is a very good support. It's also just one of, if not the most difficult support hero to play effectively.
Yeah, every one of his skills is so complicated. You look at somebody like Lich, where skills are very binary. It's they have one use, you use them that way, and then you move on. But Oracle has so many skills with at least two, if not three, different uses, and it gets to be super complicated. So I agree with you. It's definitely got a huge skill ceiling and can do amazing amounts of work, but it's it has kind of fallen out of play just because it doesn't get levels as fast as it used to. The nerf to jungle XP really hurt it pulling and kind of just babysitting its lane a little bit. So we'll have to see how they choose to use it. Now I'm thinking this is probably going to be a four shaker, though.
Yeah, Abaddon, whatever you want to call him. He's picked up in the fourth spot here. Probably going to be the offlane as you're getting at. This is a hero that's not made a lot of appearances recently. I mean, we mentioned earlier with the NA, Jakiro even. This is a hero that shined in the NA scene in mid-season last year, I want to say, but really died off as we went into the TI run there of TI 7 and post-TI. I can't say I've really seen much of this hero myself, at least.
It gets enabled by the Lich. That's the nice part. If they just make this a dual lane, it'll actually contest most tri-lanes. The Lich pulling the lane back to guarantee them an easy level 2, and then once they hit 2, they're actually a very scary duo. So I think this could work out extremely well for them here on the side of the Dire.
Yeah. Puck coming out in that 4 spot. So Naga Siren, I mean, are you leaning towards either way yet? Because it still technically could be both, right? Because they still need their 1, possibly their 4 if they're going to run the Naga as the 1.
Seconds to go.
I don't really like Naga Oracle as like a support duo because you have 0 stuns out of that pair. Like, yeah, you have roots, like tons of roots, but if they just run at you with Abaddon Lich and he's shielding off the roots, it looks really difficult. So I would like to see this be a carry Naga, and then you offlane the Mirana. Okay. Or you even for the Mirana, that would be fine as well. You get a nice roamer in that can try to do what Lich does, but better. You run around and try to get some ganks off instead of just calmly pressuring lanes.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the Huskar ban, though. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, right? The cheese, man. You just do not want to get that cheese against you. And Huskar, obviously not like great with the Oracle, but great against magic damage in general, too. So
yeah,
they definitely could have been a great pick here. They go Phantom Assassin pretty quickly, though. They're confident with that one right after their TA ban.
So it is looking like a 4-roll Naga.
Yeah.
Because Mirana on the off lane here. And if I'm the Dire here, you really need like a Sven. You need something with some right-click control presence. And hopefully a stun, because you're kind of lacking on Disable on this roster. All you really have is Earthshaker. I think that would absolutely fit the bill.
Yeah, Sven not banned. Definitely gets that ban quite a bit, but the downside of Sven is Phantom Assassin has that built-in miss with the blur, so is that a concern, or you just need that more stun?
Yes and no. It's just one of those things you have to deal with. You don't go on PA until you have Bloodthorn or something, but I just don't think you have any other options. You kind of locked yourself into this draft where it's that or you go heavy tempo. You run carry Abaddon, and he just like rushes of Vlads, and you try to push down all the towers super fast. Okay, DK kind of fits the same build. It does give them a little bit of crowd control, some good team fight. And this means we're going to see a carry Veno, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, position 1 Pycat here, playing the Venomance. There's CCNC going to be on Dragonite. This is kind of risen up as one of his more go-to mid-heroes, I feel like. I don't know. In fact, I do have Dota buff open. Maybe I can check that eventually. But
it's very interesting, though, because CCNC likes to be a playmaker. Like we saw in the TI qualifiers, his Lina almost got them there, right? Like it did huge work. He was making great plays with it. Dragon Knight's not really a playmaker.
No. Dragon Knight's a little bit more of I do objectives and, get my levels, and you can kind of push around me kind of hero, as you're pointing out. He's not that playmaker necessarily. At least before, I mean, you could build him that way. Obviously, the Shadow Blade style of build even. If you want to go in for those solo ganks, the potential is there, but not usually played as that style. So, yeah, see what you're getting at there.
I don't even mind the Shadow Blade pickup, but one thing this does do is the other side of the coin for CCNC, where he's a playmaker, he makes some aggressive plays and gets punished. DK is one of the safest mids in the game. You have a ton of natural regen, a ton of armor. You build a little bit of health to start you out. And it's just very hard to bring down a Dragon Knight. Yeah. So it kind of shores up his weaknesses, but it also offsets some of his strengths. So I'm really curious to see how this plays out here.
Here we go. Game number 1 of 2 best of 3 coming at you guys. VGJ Storm versus DC will be the later match today, but we got Dire versus Immortals here, essentially making their debut in Immortals' case again. Only play before this really has been open qualifiers against the lesser teams, I think is a nice way to put it. So excited to see how they match up against a proven already to be a very good squad. And that is
shout out to Noah Winston if he's watching his team play right now.
Oh, look at you.
Thanks for coming into Dota.
Look at you name dropping already. Look at you. That's something you would do. Man, the double Enchanted Mango picked up by Naga Siren here. He's ready to spam that mana, spam that Riptide. This bottom tri-lane it's looking to be. Wait, really? Are they going to be going, what, Naga, Mirana down here?
30 seconds.
With Puck is down here right now. I'm guessing this is for first blood potential, but yeah, he's going to end up
There's not
mid.
a lot of that. Yeah, Puck's going to go mid for sure.
So they're going to do a 2-1-2 setup, it looks like. At least early on in the game.
They kind of have to, with PPD being on this Lich here. It's going to throw the lanes off so much. Like, we actually see Dire setting up for essentially an aggro dual lane with the Veno and the Lich, which is going to mean that Zai should be looking at getting a ton of farm down here if they didn't dual lane him.
Okay, so Zai get the poor man shield early on. Again, Abaddon going back to the hero here as they're still very early on in the game, but do you expect to see that Radiance build? That's something we saw in the hero quite a bit.
Oh,
wasn't the off
more than likely, yeah. I don't think there's a lot of great options for Abaddon right now. If they get way ahead, he could just pivot into a very, very early, very early Vlads and try to push with that, or drums even. But other than that, I expect to see a fairly early Radiance, yeah.
Well, middle lane will be that Dragon Eye versus Puck, throwing an Earthshaker with a fissure, and all of a sudden MP's in trouble. MP, he'll get away barely, but taking a lot of pressure, to say the least, here in this middle matchup already. So
he needs to be careful with the salve. If CCNC hits him with Flame Breath, it's just a disaster.
Well, Misery's just going to run up again. Fissure is ready to go right here. He obviously doesn't have phase shift, so.
Yeah, he's trying to save the Fissure for when he sees the salve go off. Okay. So he's just pushing MP out of the lane, giving CCNC a little breathing room.
Yeah. Playing the game of who's going to blink first, essentially, right here. So Dubu, meanwhile, the top lane has the pull going. Venomancer, though, realizing that, as well as Lich. They're going to make their way over and try to prevent that as much as possible. But yeah, both sides going with essentially the aggressive dual lanes here on either side. I mean, who do you think this is going to favor more between the Dire and
I think it's going to favor Dire slightly more, but I think it's a mitigating disaster for Immortals. Like, if they didn't run this setup, it would be even worse. But it's going to still result in an advantage for the Dire. That's just what happens when you have a Lich, though.
Hugo's in trouble. He does not have his Phantom Strike either. He is 100% dead. That's a first blood. PPD picks it up. That's boots, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what can happen up here. This Lich Veno dual lane is, if you're out of position at all, you just die. There's so much slow in this.
Yeah. Yes. Especially still being level 1 at the time. So now he has that Phantom Strike, but again, not having it then. No way he was getting out of that situation here. So that in itself really puts the Dire in a favorable spot, to say the least.
And it's just destroying Dubu. Dubu is level 1 with a fairly long ways to go till level 2.
Yeah.
Like, Misery's smart rotation up actually stole one of the bounties from him, and then Misery doubled back for his own bounty. So Misery closing it onto himself.
Yeah.
But Lich is always going to get his levels.
Uh-oh, middle lane. He just used Illusory Orb. He does have phase shift. Yep. Gonna be hit right there. Blocked in, actually. He has level 2 phase shift right here, but MP, 4 more seconds before that orb's up. Yeah, he'll be fine. Even a toy with, oh, he actually takes an extra hit right there, but he is fine. Fissure, okay. That was a lot closer than it should have been, I feel like, but he does get away. Misery just kind of toying with him as well, so.
Yeah, both mid laners opted for the super defensive builds. 2 points in Dragon Blood by level 3 for Dragon Knight, and 2 points in Phase Shift for Puck. It's just bizarre. They're both just trying not to die with all this pressure being put on them.
Yeah. One of that 0.75 seconds longer, going from 0.75 to 1.5. Do the quick math, NA math. There you go.
It's a little odd that he's going that, though, with like no projectiles to disjoint. It's a melee mid you're going against, so you can't phase shift to harass. You're not phase shifting a Fissure.
Top lane, Oracle wishes he had phase shift up here. Unfortunately, he does not, and that's going to be a final auto attack for the kill. Pycat picking it up. Armor's applied as Phantom Assassin throws out that dagger. There's no way he's diving that, though. That would have been into
Pycat with an interesting build here himself. Skipping wards so far at level 3. Going 2 points in Gale. The question here is mostly at level 4. Does he get the extra point in Poison Sting, or does he start going wards at that point?
Well, Xerox, what would you do?
You know, I really like this aggressive build. If you have Zai actually farming bottom and getting something out of the lane, I think just pressuring up this top lane as hard as you can is very, very good for them.
Well, Pycat, he goes the second point into Poison Sting, so there we go. Find out that answer. CCNC, how's this middle matchup playing out with CS? We got a 28-6 Dragon Knight versus a 24-4 Puck right here. Rotate coming in from Febby.
CNC's bottle crowing.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
You never see that anymore.
That's trying to be efficient. What's the down? Why don't we see that more? I mean, what is the
because
downside?
when they made a change a while back that when a bottle's empty, Courier's move speed goes super slow. So it takes too long. It takes like a full minute to courier it back and forth.
Okay. Well, he's making a point to do right here. Figures nobody else needs it, but you see that courier making its way back. We'll be able to provide that bottle. But for the time being, Dragonite, he's in no danger. I mean, he has level 2 Dragon Blood especially, so he's not really feeling much pressure here. It's a Naga Siren rotating. I mean, what is a Naga going to do, right? So
this is actually a really good game for him to go an early armlet if he decides to go that route. It's going to give him a ton of pushing power on the towers. He could look to bring down this mid tower extremely quickly and then just carry that presence into the rest of the lanes.
Bottom lane, they net up Zai, but he's got this thing called a Photic Shield that just purges that right off, so Febby just kind of testing him a little bit. Using a bit of mana, I guess. Has that clarity, though. Gonna pop that and continue to just stay alive. He's level 4, almost level 5. Seems like Abaddon's actually doing pretty well down there. 24-1 creep score for him as well.
He's doing great. And this Abaddon is just going to disrupt the entire game plan here from Immortals. He can purge off an arrow if somebody gets caught with an arrow. Even a Dream Coil stun. I mean, it's just nuts what he can do.
Yeah.
Oh, Dream Coil I think is undispellable now. Yeah, it is. But still, the arrow's the biggest thing. If you get clipped by a 5-second arrow and your name isn't Zai, you just walk away from it. And if it is Zai, you just press the ult and walk away from it.
Yeah.
So, pretty good.
Well, the shield's pretty good in general. I mean, hell, even against like the dagger slow itself, you could argue that's just nice to have that as the barrier as Phantom Assassin may be coming in.
Ooh,
so
PPD?
Is Pycat in trouble? Looks like he might be. MP's rotating in, and the Illusory Orb will snipe him out. Kyo actually credit for the kill right there. Phantom Assassin. So you're mentioning PPD. Did you just get distracted or something, or?
I mean, PPD was facing the puck, and MP opted to go for Veno instead. He had the choice of which target he wanted to kill. And that's just a lack of vision there from the Dire. They have the bottom rune warded, so as soon as they saw that mid lane was gone and the rune wasn't bottom, they probably should have been a little more careful. But QO, though, potentially on the punish here, is going to Phantom Strike back to the Oracle.
Slowly walking over, man. He is having
it's terrible. It's so awful.
Yeah. Oracle does not have the Fate's Edict yet. He did not go the 1-1-1 build. He chose to get 2 in those Purifying Flames instead. I'm guessing at level 4 he's going to get Fate's Edict right here, but goes back to
more than likely. You got to get extra points in Purifying. It does so much damage.
Yeah.
Like, you can shotgun out 300 damage really fast with that skill.
He's in trouble? Nope. No, he's not. He's got that magic stick. Pops it up. Febby still chasing, though. The arrow comes out, but Zai, he sees that coming a mile away. He also has a shield just in case. There's a Riptide, but no follow-up damage. The shield comes out. There's the net, however. MP rotates in with the orb, and MP credit for the kill, actually. So that's why they kept chasing. They made the communication, and MP rotated over to secure the kill there.
Yeah, that was rough from Zai. He had to shield when he did, so he couldn't shield off the ensnare, or he would have made it to the shrine. And from there, he just walks away. But nice rotates here from MP. Really keeping his team in this in what could have been a disastrous start.
I was wondering when we were going to see that Elder Dragon form from CCNC, and we see it right here. He's almost level 8, but finds himself pushing the tower slightly. Gets a couple of attacks in there at least, but he's obviously, again, looking pretty good. Let's take a look at that net worth. He is top in the charts right now.
And every attack on this tower, if you walk away from it after hitting it once, is about 8% of its HP. So even just getting in 1 or 2 hits is good chip damage.
Yeah. QO go on the Mask of Madness. This item is just like a go-to item nowadays. It feels like on just so many heroes. Are you surprised to see it at all, or is it just that good right now as far as what we see from it? We'll hold that thought because Zai might be in a little bit of trouble. And he crits. No, he's not level 6, but he doesn't even need the crits. The Starstorm and everything else. QO credit for the kill. And now he has the coup de grace here for those crits.
Yeah, no, Mask of Madness is just a great item. It lets you farm the jungle faster if you can't farm in lane. It lets you just run at heroes if you're ahead. It's just such a good item in almost every situation right now.
Well, Helped him right there for that kill. That's a bottom tower kill. You know, if I had to put money on who would get the first tower kill this game, honestly would have gone to the Radiant side or the team known as the Dire, but that's not the case here. It's the first tower for Immortals.
Not yours.
A little surprising even. I mean, yeah, because you get a Dragonite, a Venomancer especially, that seems, I mean, it's not like, oh my god, let's just give up now by any means, but that's good news for Immortals, I guess, is the big point there.
Yeah, they need the tempo. It's going to open the map up a little bit more, give them some time to farm up. QO's been playing very, very aggressive on this Phantom Assassin, which has worked out very well for them, but it also means they need to keep making moves to keep the map open, or he's going to start falling behind.
CNC running up with that level 4 Dragon Breath. Does have the Dragon Tail, gets it off, the stun happens, Elder Dragon form. Needs a couple more auto attacks, nice phase shift right there. Puck, Lucifer Orb is up, but the Dragon Breath once again will snipe him out, and now the tower very likely going to fall unless anyone rotates over. Doesn't seem like that's happening. So great play by CCNC right there, solo kill, and they end up getting the tower kill on top of that. Huge
what
momentum.
A guy.
What a player.
Looks like he does have drums queued up, so looking to take the game early with his team here. And we'll have to see how this goes, because the Venomancer went and doubled back for Ring of Aquila that she wasn't going to get in the first place. So picking that up now is going to add a little bit of team fight presence. And had the Hood queued up second, so we'll see if they still follow that line.
This is... Oh, Dragon Tail's stun on Nagasar, by the way. He's only level 4, so there's no way Febi's getting out of this. That's an easy kill. CCNC, nice rotation. Yeah, no, this is objective-based gaming here by Dire.
This is so all in from the Dire, because you've got Vlad's queued up right now on Zai, and he's pretty committed to it at this point. The Aquila on Veno, the drums on DK. I mean, they're ready to go basically now. They kind of hit a peak as soon as Zai gets to his Vlad's.
Yeah.
And that's about all they have for another 15 minutes, probably.
That's what I noticed as well. That's why I brought that up. Yeah, between the Vlads, you mentioned the drums and the Ring of Aquila. So it's just all across the board. And a team that's going for that. Let's push and take advantage early on top lane. Misery trying to escape right here for Ev. He ended up leaping away, actually. Didn't want to hang around too long. Does have Moonlight Shadows in case. Not necessary, though, so he'll just run away. Dubu just leeching some experience at the top lane. Bottom lane, Zai running at them. Borrow time is ready, but Phoenix just continues to farm. Gonna maybe try to get a big crit right here to proc it. The net comes out, actually, but well, they're running at him at least. There are no rotations coming in right now. Borrow time, that might be going off soon. MP, he comes in. There we go. The borrow time is activated. MP does have the Dream Coil. Probably wants to save that. Shouldn't be necessary, and indeed it's not. QO with the crit and the dagger to finish the job. So Zai just got way too comfortable by himself. I mean, no tower to TP too, so.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, though, the Dire's just kind of shafted him. They're just ignoring him entirely and working on their own game. They do manage to find Dubu up in the trees. They are going to convert this into a tier 1 tower. So they're going to get more out of it than the kill on Zai, but it's just kind of funny how they're just leaving Zai to his own devices.
Yeah, so the Vlad's again going to be a little bit more delay. Needs 1,100 gold for that Morbid Mask. Only 582 currently, but the top tower kill going to help get him a little bit closer. Dragonite, though, he's even already used a charge now on the drum. He is doing fantastic. He has a blink queued up here. Be that strong initiator for the team. Blink on Earthshaker, it's still a bit off, so it's definitely going to be on Dragonite first here.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Veno's protecting the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Nagasaren's going in. Naga is level 6, by the way. Has that song. There goes the Poison Nova as they jump Venomancer, so he got it off at least, but doesn't. My Earthshaker's running in here, but not going to be able to really capitalize. They're just going to defend while Dragonite and Abaddon still push that tier 2 top, and they're going to get it, aren't they? So this is definitely going to work out in favor of the Dire team. God, I hate that they're the Dire, by the way. The Radiant side here. And they continue to protect Lich. No, he's not going to go any. Had to stop that, though. That arrow probably would have hit him, so. Saw it coming. But yeah, nice favorite there for the Radiant side.
This is such an insanely strong pushing duo that if Veno, Lich, and Earthshaker can hold buildings by themselves, the DK Abaddon will just destroy towers. Curse of Avernus, the passive on Abaddon, and then the DK Dragon form will just eat a building alive. It's so fast.
Yeah, that Vlad's is finished now. So it looks like that they're grouping up at the bottom lane. Not only to push out this lane, but probably push it, honestly. The tier 1 is still up there. Obviously, you have tier 2 middle lane is also an option. But for now, they are actually pretty spread out on the Radiant side over here. So we'll see how they adjust. QO, by the way, he's going Mask of Madness into Desolator. So this is going to be a pretty fragile Phantom Assassin here, Z-Rock.
Yeah, it's going to be a very high damage one, though. They just need to make sure that they save Fate's Edict and that they save Song, or False Promise and Song of Desire, and use them very well. Because if they Song in and get a good initiation with Puck, and then he just dives in with False Promise on him, this PA is just going to shred through people.
Yeah.
The one question I've got, though, is how they're going to bring down the Dragon Knight here in a little bit. He's just getting very, very tanky and hard to kill. They need to use magic damage to do it, but it's kind of hard to commit everything on just a Dragon Knight.
Oh, Mirana providing some of that magic damage between the arrow and especially the Starstorm, of course. But for now, she's just continuing to push out the bottom lane. But here comes that rotation now from the Radiant side. 4 heroes in the area, PPD included. Smoke on in. He's going to be exposed, though. Zai's running at Mirana. Does have borrowed time still. Not much mana to work with, though. So Immortals is doing a pretty good job of keeping attention down here, at least. And keeping this Radiant side occupied, trying to continue to get more farm on both QO as well as MP, of course, who does have the Veil now and is working on his own Blink Dagger right here. But my guess is they're probably waiting for the Blink on Dragon Knight. He does have it now, so.
Yeah, their Shaker Blink's also not too far off, about 700 gold, so that is coming along slowly. I can't imagine you want to wait another 3-4 minutes for it, though. You just hit all of these big item timings.
Yeah.
Naga is forced to Song out to get a safe TP away there. So Song will be down for over 2 minutes. That is time that I would imagine the Dire's going to take the bottom tier 1 with.
Yeah, that seems like an ability that when that's on cooldown, you want to take advantage, of course. So see if they go about that. Smoke up from Immortals, though. They're going to try to rotate to the top lane. You mentioned Dragon Knight. He's going to be tough to kill. Well, we may find out right here. This is 4 players rotating in. CCNC is by himself currently. He does have Blink. He cannot react in time. There's the jump. Purifying Flame Nuke's coming out as well. The Purge on top of that, rooting him in place. Awaiting Rift Silence. And now the Dream Quill. Phantom Assassin comes in for a couple more auto attacks and more than enough damage to secure that kill. That was just very good rotation from Immortals. Hindsight, you kind of question what CCNC was doing up there that far by himself, but it was also good smoke there, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, they have a very deep ward that would have shown a rotation without the smoke, so
Yes.
looked like it was a safe place to farm. And I have to say, good play there from QO to not dagger in and then jump, just straight jumped in to stop the blink out. Otherwise, CCNC maybe could have reacted to the dagger, blink dodged it, and then just been out.
Yeah. Kyo now back to the bottom lane. He's almost got that Desolator finished, actually. 1 Mithril Hammer has 1455 gold saved up. As I say that, he might need to get saved right here, or maybe not. Earthshaker's the one. Has to get the hell on out, and the supports on the Radiant side, they're just going to back off. Both have it on as well as this Venomancer. Venomancer, the Hooded Defiance, picked up on him to go with that Veil of Discord now. Just got there, still going though, Zai. Borrowed time is going to pop right there, wearing off shortly. Preventing attacking him in the time being. There we go. Phonic Shield, it gets pushed off. Now CCNC jumps in with the Dragon Tail, though.
Oh.
It's on Oracle. Oracle gets exploded on. They also took out Phantom Assassin pretty quickly right there. As MP, he has to get the hell on out, apparently. Febby will also be picked off. He got a little bit too deep right there, trying to finish offside. Not going to happen now. MP's in trouble, trying to escape. Illusory are barely alive, not for long, though. Dragonite in that level 2 Elder Dragon form. Too much damage, secures the kill. What a fight there for the Radiant team.
What a massive play from CCNC, just blinking in there, getting the right stun, set up this huge Venomous Gale, and Zai is just wandering around there with like 100 health, and it worked out so well for them. That's going to be Misery's Blink Dagger now, and all tempo swings back to this Dire side. Dire team, Dire squad.
I know, right? People are saying to call them TD. I guess we could just call them TD.
No.
That does sound weird, doesn't it? Because then you think Terrell Davis, and it's like, I don't want to do that. Tim Duncan. Pie-Cap Idler. Sports Ball. Phantom Assassin. Oh, there comes a false promise. In comes the Echo Slam, though. And QO is no doubt dying right here. He's just trying to do as much damage as possible. He will explode after the fact. A triple kill for Misery. It just gets better and better for the
That
Dire.
Veil. They just exploded. Oh man, beautiful plays there all around. Misery with the 2-man Echo into the 2-man Chain Frost with a Veil on top. That was just painful.
No, that was... They're melting, but it kind of goes back to the idea there, especially with the build on Phantom Assassin, like this very fragile build, really relying on Oracle. But if Oracle's dying himself right away, as we've seen now in both of these times, obviously that's not going to really do a whole lot. He got the false promise off that time around, but it really didn't matter as we saw there. So this seems like it's getting to be pretty tough, actually, for Immortals as far as their success in this game. It is the biggest lead right now for what is the Radiant side over here, about just over 5,000 net worth. So what is the game plan for Immortals here, you think?
Honestly, it's just making sure your Naga doesn't get caught. Your Naga has to be able to get a song off to disengage after the Echo or the Gale or one of the big buttons out of the Dire side. If you don't get the song off on a proper timing, you're gonna lose the fight. The team fight is way too strong out of this Dire.
Yeah. Well, speaking of team fight, they're doing Roshan, and obviously Immortals over here does not want to contest it, or maybe they just don't know. They don't have vision in the area, to be fair, but again, it would be a pretty risky move. They do have Song, but still pretty risky. It's going to be an Aegis, and I'm guessing Dragon Knight? Yeah.
Yeah, and if this Deso, I mean, this Deso got pushed back so long on QO, he almost doesn't have time to finish it. Like, he almost just has to pivot over to BKB right now. The Halberd is going to be done on Venomancer about the, 2 minutes after this Deso's done.
Yeah.
And it's just going to ruin QO's day. I mean, he won't be able to kill anybody.
Oh, Oracle, he's porting out with his teammate right there for the top lane, realizing that's where they're pushing in at least. That's something else too. Yeah, you got Lich applying this armor. He did choose to max that out over the Frost Blast, of course. So here he has level 4 armor. You're looking at plus 9 armor for everyone on the team, or ideally the targets that you're trying to jump as well. So yeah, it's a pretty beefy squad here to be killing.
Yeah. The final nail in the coffin is going to be once this pipe gets done on Veno. He's going for the Halberd first, but once the pipe's online, the magic burst is going to be mitigated too. Then the game just gets hard.
Murata, him dying would also make it a little harder. Forev's going to leap, but is he far enough? I don't know if he is. He's going to use the Moonlight Shadows. I'm guessing they have vision. They sure do. The dust comes out immediately. Gets slowed even more. Murata, no chance of getting out of here. So that's a massive cooldown also used, trying to escape. All for naught. He's there for 40+ seconds right here. At this point, middle lane, CCNC setting up with a new Shadowblade toy of his. Looking for an opening and might find it on Naga Siren. Yeah, here we go. He just goes right into Elder Dragon for him to screw it. Let's just get this kill and push now.
Doesn't even have time to get sung off. Just so much CC now with the pickup of this Dragon Knight. It's been a very nice lineup here from Dire, and honestly, I'm amazed with how well they've played this. Like, their itemization is super team-oriented, and they're playing as a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
That was one of my big question marks going into this. Individually, I knew these guys could play, but seeing them play like a team this well is extremely good looking forward.
So PPD, I'm pretty sure he literally just used a Chain Frost to counter push the top lane. Unfortunately for him, though, there's more here than he expected, and they are going to kill the tower on top of that. So well played by Immortals. However, it is a bit of a distraction as we see. Naga, the sleep comes out. She'll activate her illusions.
Misery's not slept.
Oh yeah, he's in the back. You're right. Echo Slam. That's ready to go. If they clump up, they are in trouble. You look at Phantom Sense, it's like, do I want to go? Do I want to go? They do not have that Lich, but that's not enough. They lose tier 3 already. At 22 minutes, not even.
Yeah, that's a big opening, because now Immortals has to be super scared. They don't have time. If the Dragon Knight Abaddon get on this barracks, it's going to just fall. So they've got to make sure to keep mid lane pushed out. That's just another thing they have to worry about. And their win condition's starting to get murky. Their PA is taking way too long to come online. Their puck is still about where he's supposed to be, but that's not going to kill anybody.
And Dragon Knight essentially finding solo kills here. You got a little bit of assistance, but not even honestly needed. And actually, look at him right here. Nagasan did a good job of baiting him out with one of the illusions, actually.
He still has Aegis, though.
Yeah, he doesn't care. I mean, he's just up here like, yeah, if you want to try to kill me, please come to me. But oh, he blinks somewhere. He's going in. Look at this. Look at how ballsy CCNC is right now. The stun to follow up on Mirana. He will get the leap off in time, but this Rack's now in trouble. There's the ulti form from Dragon Knight of the Elder Dragon. And as you mentioned, he still has Aegis. So what do you do here if you're Immortals? Well, you kind of just say, see ya, Rax. Not much we can do.
Shift, enter, GG, enter?
Hey, that's going to do for it. Come on now. Ain't no quitters. It's only an AK lead.
They just don't have damage, though. They're at the point where this Dire squad is so tanky. And without any real damage to bring these people down, it's just impossible.
Oh, they got damage on Mirana. Gets the false promise off to save her, but now PA, he would be vulnerable if he goes in here. He does push the bottom tier too, but it's like, is that really worth the trade? I know their chances right now are very limited here, and they're taking risks, but Immortals, it really doesn't feel like victory is going to be in their presence right here. This is the Dire, the team Dire that is, making a statement, trying to finish what is game number 1 here in this best out of 3. We're only 24 minutes into this game about. Already 2 sets of racks taken out. Jeez.
CCNC having a little bit of bullet hell there. Illusory orb in front of him, an arrow behind. Had to find the gap.
Yeah.
Does manage to do it. But yeah, no, it's just everyone's got, you know, a decent amount of health. There's so many save mechanics and frost armor and solar crest, pipe. I guess it's still just a hood, but just so many different ways they can peel people off and stop somebody from actually getting a kill on Immortals if they do commit. And the second they commit, the Echo Slam's ready. He still has it up.
Well, QO, the BKB is just about finished at least, and that feels like that's going to be a very good item this game, but the obvious statement to make is it just seems like it's a little bit too late with what's already been accomplished right here. But we'll see what they can make with that. It's probably going to be the pickup here and try to make a play here if you're Immortals over here on the Dire side. But again, very difficult task to make here. It is just game number 1 though, at least going back.
Exactly, it's something to look at going forward. I mean, at this point, they have one kind of hope left. It's a smoke into Mirana ult into killing them at Roshan and grabbing the Aegis. That's like their one comeback shot, but they are going to go for a last-ditch smoke here. They do have 3 of them smoked up, going into this Dire Woods. I'm going to keep doing that on purpose the entire series.
There's the jump with the Dragon Tail right after he blinks. CCNC, and the sleep's like, well, I tried. Arrow. No, he can't even hit Misery right there. Goes in with the Echo Slam. Didn't really hit anything, but you know what? He got away from death right there. Puck does buy back, ports in. Oracle gets picked off, though. He buys back, too. I mean, Immortals, this is just overtime right now. Just trying to pad some stats for the other side, I guess, but it just doesn't feel like this is going to work. They do get a couple of kills, but now Zai, Borrow Time finally going to be activated. CCNC running back in. He does have Blink back up. The Silver Edge as well. Nope, he's going to be stunned out, though. PA goes in, trying to make a play right here, but the Dragon Tail happens. There's that false promise. CCNC now has to run, actually. Not often we've seen that. The false promise to heal up on a PA. CCNC, can he actually make it out? No, he cannot. He does go down. Try to turn kill PA at the last second. Not going to be enough damage, though. Venomancer is also going to fall, so... Well, they do wipe them out, actually. I mean, it was a couple of buybacks, Puck and Oracle, but I guess Immortals, they ain't giving up, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's a team fight win. Their shrines in their base are falling. Their base is literally just in tatters, but they got a couple kills. That BKB from PA showing up big there. Pycat just had halberded him, and it was kind of a disaster there to see the BKB come out. But a little bit of life for Immortals. And now they have 2 gems.
Do they really? Yeah, we picked one up there. They do. Look at Puck has both of them, one for each eye, of course. On him right here, so. Yes. Okay. Phantom Assassin, what does he get next? I mean, that was a good chunk of gold. 2,400 gold saved up now.
I mean, Abyssal would be generally the next step. It's just kind of the most natural progression. It gives you a nice way to 1v1 anybody in the game, basically. I have to imagine that'd be the next item. He could go something like Satanic. Split the Helmadam up if you wanted to go that route. It does have a Diffusal queued up. It's nice because it can purge Frost Armor, which is helpful, but I don't know if it's quite enough.
Yeah, and you also have... The reason why that's odd to me, honestly, is you have a Mirana who's also a pretty good candidate for a Diffusal Blade. And actually, she has one. Yeah, she even has one right here. So... It seems, is it that necessary, I guess? You know, he wants to make sure maybe that one target that he is on doesn't have it, but... Yeah,
exactly. He's focusing on his 1v1 here, for sure. It's just, I need to be able to kill who I go on because I'm using my Mask of Madness, I'm using my BKB. He can't always rely on the Priestess being there with him.
Well, they're going to smoke up again, and a lot of pings coming out from either side, so... You got... the Radiant side over here going to do smoke themselves and wrap around the right. Again, the tier 3 bottom is all that's really left as far as the base is concerned. How about this, though? Immortals is trying to ninja Roshan, and they're going to get it.
They are going to get it. Now, if Dire just hard commits here, even with the Aegis on Immortals, I think they could get this tier 3 and potentially make the push for Megas. They've got to know what the side's doing.
They have to go now, though, right? Like, so there's a Roshan kill. So are they going to make this commitment is the question. They are somewhat pushing it in. Not really. Kind of. CCC does come in now. And yeah, Elder Dragon form, they get the invulnerability. PA, obviously he's the one that picked up that Aegis. He does have the defusal finished. Moonlight Shadows was activated, by the way. He'll jump on a CCNC. Dragon Tail stun onto him, though. Fate's Edict popped onto Dragon Knight, so disarming him for the time being. False Promise at the last second. Jeez, Venomous hasn't nearly died right there. But again, he has the Aegis, so Party almost wonders if that was necessary, but he's kind of going in right here. Pops his BKB even. He will end up surviving as a result of that. Song of the Siren actually CCNC onto the side right there, and now QO, he's going to have to back off nonetheless, and he will end up falling. Fate's Edict not enough to save him right there. So he comes back up, though, with the Aegis. Dragon Knight. Dragon Tail stun on a Puck. That's going to be a dieback for him. PA jumps in onto the Dragon Knight, though, running him down, but you see the auto attacks from Venomancer adding up. There's a cheese popped as well. So QO still the man, staying alive right here, but Dragon Knight, another Dragon Tail stun, and that's going to be enough to take him out. He does have a buyback. He's not going for the, though, for the time being. A couple of double kills on the side of the Dire, and they finally get the buyback on a PA, and now they're going to retreat. What a fight. That one for a good minute there felt like.
Yeah, that fight was almost very good for Immortals. They got super close to being able to take it, and it was, in the end, just a little bit too tanky on the Dire side to actually bring the right people down. Beautiful Glimmer Cape saved CCNC there, letting him use his own Shadow Blade to go back in and kill QO, taking off that that passive. Otherwise, QO maybe could have just ran train and wiped them all.
Whew. Well, Immortals, again, continues to just barely stay alive, if anything. I'll say before, especially with that Roshan snipe, there is a little bit of me that's like, you know what, this game's not over. This Immortals, there's a reason that they're staying into this game, and it's 11,000 lead, which is a fair lead, you know, 30 minutes into the game, but it's not overwhelming necessarily, so.
I mean, they're trying to play to their outs. They're smoking well. They went for a very aggressive Roshan. They're definitely playing to their outs, but if QO dies here, it's pretty much it.
Well, Dragon Knight trying to find that opportunity. Unfortunately for him, they had a sentry right there, so yeah, they even ping him out. He blinks away, realizing what's going on. And he's just
Mortals has to get back and defend their base, though, at some point. These creeps are just going to keep walking in and slowly beating on the buildings.
Phantom Assassin, he's trying to catch up to somebody, but not going to happen. As you mentioned, though, yeah, you look at the middle lane especially. Somebody's going to have to pour it back, and that somebody will be QO on the Phantom Assassin. So he comes back, only really 600 or so gold currently saved out. Remember, he obviously bought back. So taking that into consideration, Mirana does get level 2 defusal here. And
it feels bad, but QO almost has to go MKB. There's so much evasion getting stacked up now. You've got the Halberd on the Veno, you've got the Solar Crest and the Halberd on Abaddon. There's just so much evasion starting to come out.
Dragon Knight, he jumps in with the stun on the Naga Siren right there. Naga Sleep is ready to go. Can he get it off in time? CCNC is dropping himself. Fate's Edict disarm on him as well, as the Chain Frost will bounce around in the backlines. Dragon Knight is picked off, though. QO, he gets another one in the backlines on the Lich right there. QO still looking well alive, actually. And with Dragon Knight dead, this is actually going to be a victory for the Immortals for the time being. Misery jumps in with the Echo Slam, but it's just not going to be enough. No follow-up. Finally, out comes a Poison Nova. Misery goes down. They do take out Mirana, but again, QO, he is still alive enough. They finishes off the job right there for a triple kill. And Pycat, the sole survivor. What is the Radiant side over here? Pycat, he wants this kill, though. He's going balls deep. Coup de grace procs. He's not getting it. He gets one right there. The silence comes out, but it's not enough. PA will finally go down. He's dead for 95. What a ballsy move from Pycat. But it pays off in the end.
That was so brave. Couple misses or a couple crits, and that could have gone either way. But does manage to bring down the PA, salvaging the fight slightly. I mean, Misery held the Echo for so long there, and awkward timing for CCNC. His BKB was flying in as he died. It was right there if he had gotten that off, and could have turned that fight tremendously. But instead, he just gets CC'd and bursted down.
So is this because we're kind of seeing the peak now of this itemization, I guess you could say, of this Radiant team here, where why aren't they dominating like they were earlier on, I guess is what I'm getting at.
A big piece of it is CCNC had a BKB queued up and decided to go full Silver Edge before it. It pushed him off of that for so long. If he just had the BKB, the game could have been over. But it works like an insurance policy this way. Now he has it a little bit later. That 10-second Dragon Form BKB is just going to destroy a building.
Has been callously murdered.
Puck toying with him right there. Puck does have a Dagon in the stash currently, level 1. So that's going to be some large amount of burst magic damage, of course, coming out, and something that they can use, considering all the armor that we keep referring to. On this Radiant side, there's a Glimmer Cape on Lich here, as well as that Ernie has picked up. How are levels looking like? Let's look at the talent trees. All right, a Dragonite, what does he get? Damage, health, attack speed, pretty standard stuff there. Venomancer has the 75 damage talent himself now at level 20. On the other side, you got Phantom Assassin, with attack speed, lifesteal, and the 15 damage. We do have a big fight possibly happening here, though.
They're just poking with Pycat, force-staffing him out. Trying to play this super safe. It's just an awkward spot, mostly for Misery, because if he doesn't get the Naga in the Echo, Naga's just going to song it off. So he's been holding these Echoes for so long in team fights, generally until his team starts to lose them. So he really needs to find a way in, or somebody needs to force the sleep before he goes.
Naga Siren poking in right there with the smoke. Not going to get exposed, though. We'll fall back to the base. And Forev just continues to keep the lane pushed up. Pushed out even of the base with the Starstorm, of course. And has that BKB queued up from before. Trying to finish that, but the slow and steady push will continue from the Radiant team here. It feels like we're kind of banging our head against a door now, though, because they have great creep clear, obviously, that they keep doing right here. So you just kind of have to play the patient game of let the middle and top lanes push out and find your opening, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as they see somebody like QO farming creeps top, CCNC can just run in Dragon Form BKB. And that should be enough to get them to Megas.
They're going in. False Promise activated on Mirana right there. Very early one, but wanted to make sure that she was not going to die. So that's going to be on cooldown now for another 56 seconds here. There's Tier 3 tower. Moonlight Shadows pop. Naga Siren in the back line just goes for the net on Abaddon currently. There's the BKB pot by CCNC. Jumping on a Phantom Assassin. Invis currently, he is going to get stunned. The Naga sleep in the back lines, catching a couple, including the Earthshaker, by the way. BKB now popped by Q. Goes in trouble, though. Q's dying right here, not getting any heals. He's going to end up going down 80 seconds. No buyback. Dubu again with no false promise. Not much more he could have done right there. They also pick up Naga Siren, and GGs are finally called in favor of Team Dire. But all Immortals, they made it very interesting, and they definitely hung in quite a long time right there. But the victory is as expected from the earlier game.
Yeah, good tenacity there from Immortals to draw it out a little more and make it into a game, but in the end, their lineup just struggles to recover from a spot like that, so we'll have to see if they change it up going forward. I'm not a big fan of Naga and Oracle as your supports. It's a very awkward support duo.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We've got another game coming up. These are best of threes. Short little break, and we'll be right back with Game 2.
That's the game plan. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. Again, as you mentioned, I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Z-Rock here. We're just getting started for the night here of the North American qualifiers for the Starladder I-League Invitational Season number 3. It's a double elimination bracket, best of 3 here, 1-0 lead currently for Team Dire. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.